You ever wake up, grab your phone, and before you even brush your teeth, the timeline is already on fire? That's exactly what happened when a so-called leaked voice note allegedly connected to Lil Tim hit the internet at 3:17 a.m. And within minutes, fans were saying this could change everything we thought we knew. The clip, which social media detectives are claiming was sent to Quando Rondo in the hours after that infamous night in Atlanta, features a trembling voice saying, "Bro, Vaughn wasn't supposed to," and then it cuts off. Just like that, no context, no explanation, just raw emotion. And now the internet is in full meltdown mode. Was it real? Was it AI? Was it edited? Or was this the missing piece to a tragedy that still haunts hip-hop to this day? You already know the name King Von carries weight. His legacy, his story, the way everything unfolded that night. It's still one of the most debated moments in rap history. Emotions ran high back then, and now they're boiling over all over again. Fans are shocked. Some are saying the voice sounds too emotional to be fake. Others are calling it a setup. Meanwhile, insiders are whispering that certain people in both camps are scrambling behind the scenes, trying to contain the fallout before it spirals into something bigger. Because if that voice note is real, the implications are explosive. And if it's fake, then somebody just lit a match in a room full of gasoline. Either way, what you're about to hear and what people are claiming this audio reveals has the entire rap world divided. Before we even get into what was allegedly said in that voice note, you have to understand the atmosphere around Quando Rondo and Lil Tim over the last few years. The tension never really left. The headlines slowed down, sure. The blogs moved on to the next viral beef, but in the streets and in the comments, the energy was always there. Heavy, unresolved, unfinished. That's why when this 47-second clip surfaced on a private Discord server, before spreading to Instagram and X, people didn't just scroll past it, they froze. The audio allegedly starts with what sounds like Lil Tim pacing. You can hear movement, a door creaking, a deep breath, and then that line, "Bro, I'm telling you, Vaughn wasn't supposed to." His voice cracks. There's a long pause, static. Then, "It went left too fast." Within minutes, us fan pages were reposting it with captions like, "This changes everything, and why is he saying this?" Emotions ran high instantly. Some supporters of King Von felt like the clip sounded like regret. Others said it sounded like fear, and a few hardcore defenders of Quando insisted the voice wasn't even Tim's, claiming the cadence was slightly off. But here's where it gets wild. A producer from Savannah, who claims he's worked around Quando's circle before, went live and said, "That's Tim's voice. I'd know that tone anywhere. That's stress. That's guilt." The live stream racked up 60,000 viewers in under 20 minutes. The comments were flying so fast, nobody could read them. Fans were shocked. People were screen recording everything before the live abruptly ended. And then came the alleged backstory. According to a source who says he was present that night in Atlanta, and yes, we have to say allegedly because nobody has officially confirmed anything, there was confusion in the seconds before everything escalated. The source claims that the situation was supposed to be a quick scuffle, nothing more. He describes raised voices, security scrambling, and then chaos. Nobody thought it was going to turn into that, the source said. Nobody. If that voice note is authentic, some believe it hints at exactly that. That what happened wasn't planned, wasn't anticipated, and spiraled beyond anyone's control. But here's the detail that has the internet spiraling. Toward the end of the clip, right before it cuts, there's a faint second voice in the background. Some listeners swear it sounds like Quando saying, delete that." Others say it's just audio distortion. Imagine being Quando right now. You've tried to move forward, you've dropped music, you've spoken in interviews about trauma and survival, and suddenly, the internet drags you right back to the most painful chapter of your life. The family was left divided online. Some fans argued that the resurfacing of this moment was unfair, reopening wounds that never fully healed. Others insisted that if there's new information, the public deserves to hear it. Meanwhile, blogs started dissecting the audio frame by frame. One viral TikTok creator slowed the clip down to 0.5 speed and pointed out what he claims is the sound of a car engine running in the background. "That means this wasn't recorded inside a house," he said dramatically. "This was recorded outside. Probably right after." His video hit 2 million views overnight, but not everyone is buying it. A well-known audio engineer posted a thread explaining how AI voice cloning has gotten so advanced in 2026 that you can replicate someone's tone with shocking accuracy. He even demonstrated how easy it was by generating a fake clip of a celebrity apologizing for something they never did. The implication? This could all be a sophisticated setup designed to stir drama and drive engagement. Still, something about the rawness of the alleged recording keeps people debating. The breathing, the hesitation, the way the sentence trails off. Vaughn wasn't supposed to what? Swing first, approach the car, escalate the situation. The unfinished thought is what's haunting everyone. One insider claims that when Quando first heard about the leak, he went silent. No tweets, no Instagram stories, no cryptic captions, just silence. And in today's social media climate, silence speaks volumes. Fans immediately began speculating. If it was fake, he'd deny it. One user wrote, "The fact he's not saying anything means something." But then, hours later, a close associate of Quando posted a black screen with white text. "Don't believe everything you hear." That was it. No names, no direct reference. But you already know how the internet works. Screenshots spread like wildfire. People interpreted it as a denial without actually denying anything. And let's talk about the emotional weight of this for a second. Lil Tim has largely stayed out of the spotlight, rarely speaking publicly. He's been portrayed as a villain in some narratives and as someone defending his friend in others. If this voice note is real, it paints a more complicated picture. One of shock, confusion, maybe even remorse. Fans are divided in a way we haven't seen in years. On one side, you have people saying, this proves it wasn't supposed to go down like that. On the other, you have those who feel that reopening the conversation is disrespectful to Vaughn's legacy. The comments are ruthless. Accusations fly. Old interviews resurface. Clips from that night are reposted with slowed down audio and red circles pointing to random shadows. And then came the twist nobody expected. A small Atlanta-based podcast claimed they were offered the full, unedited 3-minute version of the voice note for $15,000. According to the host, the seller insisted that what leaked publicly was only a fragment. There's more context, the host said. Way more. But they refused to pay, saying they didn't want to profit off something so sensitive. Now the question is, who has the full audio, and why leak only a snippet? Some speculate it was someone trying to send a message. Others believe it could be internal, like someone from within a circle feeling guilty, wanting the truth out. And of course, there's the conspiracy theory crowd claiming this is all strategically timed to coincide with upcoming music releases, even though no concrete evidence supports that. What makes this even more intense is how personal it feels. This isn't just gossip about charts or beef over tweets. This is about a night that changed lives permanently. Families were affected, careers shifted, reputations were cemented in a matter of seconds. And now, years later, and in one shaky sentence, Vaughn wasn't supposed to, has reopened the entire case in the court of public opinion. The tension is thick. Supporters of both camps are digging up receipts, posting side-by-side comparisons of past interviews, analyzing body language from old footage. Emotions ran high across every platform. Even celebrities who usually stay out of street-related drama started liking posts and then quickly unliking them once fans noticed. Because here's the truth, whether the audio is real or fake, it struck a nerve. It reminded people how fragile everything was that night, how quickly situations can spiral, how one decision can echo for years. And until someone steps forward with undeniable proof, either confirming or debunking the clip, the debate isn't going anywhere. The internet smells mystery. And when there's mystery mixed with tragedy, the speculation becomes unstoppable. And this feels like it's only the beginning. By mid-morning, the situation had escalated from random leak to full-blown cultural moment. Major blogs were now picking it up, carefully wording their headlines with alleged and unverified, but you could feel the tension in every post. This wasn't just content. This was reopening a chapter people never emotionally closed. Behind the scenes, according to someone claiming to be close to Quando Rondo, phones were ringing non-stop. Group chats were lighting up. Old allies were calling to check in, but the tone wasn't casual. It was cautious, strategic. You good? Suddenly meant a lot more than just concern. It meant, are we about to be dragged into something again? Oh, the most explosive development came when an anonymous account dropped what they claimed was a transcript of the full voice note. Now remember, nobody has verified this, but the transcript spread faster than the original audio. In it, the voice allegedly says, "I thought it was just gonna be hands. I ain't know it was going there. I reacted, bro. I ain't think." Reading those words hit people differently than hearing the clipped version. It added context, or at least the illusion of it. Fans were shocked. Some said the transcript made the situation feel more human, more chaotic than calculated. Others accused whoever leaked it of manipulating emotions. "You can type anything and say it's a transcript," one viral tweet read, and that tweet alone sparked 40,000 replies. Meanwhile, supporters of King Von began holding online spaces, yet discussing what they felt was an attempt to rewrite history. One speaker said, "Don't let a leak change what we saw with our own eyes." Emotions ran high as people debated accountability versus reaction. The room felt divided, even through a screen. Then came an unexpected voice in the mix. A former security guard who claims he worked multiple events involving both camps in the past. He did an interview on a rising YouTube channel and dropped a statement that made everything heavier. "Y'all think these situations are always planned like movies," he said. "Most of the time it's confusion, adrenaline, people protecting who they with." He didn't confirm the audio's authenticity, but he added fuel to the theory that things spiraled in seconds. What made this even more dramatic was the reaction from families. Once, a cousin of Vaughn posted a cryptic message saying, "Clout is a dangerous drug. No names, no tags." But the timing? Suspicious. Fans immediately assumed it was about the leak. The comment section turned into a battlefield. Some defended her, saying she had every right to speak. Others accused her of escalating things publicly. On the other side, a childhood friend of Lil Tim reportedly commented under a blog post, "Y'all don't know what that man carries every day." That one sentence shifted the narrative slightly. For the first time in hours, people started talking about trauma, about living with consequences, about mental health. But even that conversation became tense, because empathy online often lasts about 5 minutes before the arguing resumes. And then, just when it felt like things couldn't get more intense, a second audio clip surfaced. This one was shorter, only 9 seconds, but clearer. The voice allegedly says, "I keep replaying it in my head." No names mentioned, no direct references, but the tone heavy, tired, almost haunted. Audio experts quickly began analyzing the waveform, comparing it to past interviews. A popular tech influencer claimed the breathing pattern matched publicly available recordings. Others said confirmation bias was doing all the work. Now imagine being in Quando's position again. Every move scrutinized, every silence interpreted. When he finally posted a photo, just a random studio shot with no caption, fans zoomed in on everything. The clock on the wall, the people in the background, even the brand of headphones, as if it contained a hidden message. That's how deep the internet was digging. One insider alleged that label executives were concerned, not about guilt, not about legal implications, about optics. This isn't 2020, the insider reportedly said. In 2026, narratives spread in seconds. You have to respond or risk letting the algorithm define you. That comment alone sparked debates about whether artists should address every rumor or let silence speak. But the most chilling twist came late that evening when a well-known blogger claimed that the person who leaked the audio wasn't a hacker or outsider, but someone who had been present during the aftermath that night. According to this blogger, the clip had been sitting on an old phone for years. If true, that raises a terrifying question. Why now? Some speculate guilt finally caught up with someone. Others think money changed hands. A darker theory suggests it was meant to pressure someone ahead of a private dispute we don't even know about yet. In the world of rap politics, nothing is ever as simple as it looks. Fans are arguing in real time. "If it was regret, that's human," one comment reads. "Regret doesn't erase what happened," another fires back. The family was left divided across social media platforms, and even neutral observers are choosing sides without realizing it. There's also the cultural weight of it all. That night wasn't just a headline. It became a defining moment in drill culture's mainstream crossover. It shifted alliances, it hardened divides between cities, and now this alleged voice note threatens to complicate the narrative that people have settled into for years. Even artists who never publicly spoke on it before are now being asked about it in interviews. One rapper dodged the question by saying, "I wasn't there. I ain't speaking on ghosts." That line alone went viral, adding another layer of mystique. Behind closed doors, according to speculation, there are conversations happening about damage control, about whether to release an official statement, about whether to threaten legal action against whoever is circulating the clip. But making a move could validate the leak. Ignoring it could let it grow. And here's where it gets psychological. The unfinished sentence, Vaughn wasn't supposed to, forces people to fill in the blank themselves, and what they fill it with reveals their bias. If you believe it was self-defense, you complete the sentence one way. If you believe it was avoidable, you complete it another. That ambiguity is what makes this leak so powerful. It doesn't tell a story outright, it invites you to construct one. As night falls again and the debates continue, one thing is clear: the clip has reignited emotions that never fully cooled. Fans are shocked at how quickly old wounds reopened. Emotions ran high across every livestream and comment thread. The internet feels like it's reliving that night all over again, frame by frame, second by second. And the scariest part? No official confirmation, no clear denial, just fragments, whispers, alleged transcripts, and a haunting, half-finished sentence that refuses to let anyone move on. Whether this ends with a public statement, a lawsuit, or simply fades into the next trending topic, the impact is already undeniable, because in today's era, perception is reality. And right now, perception is split straight down the middle. Just when people thought the situation couldn't get any more chaotic, a late night live stream changed the temperature completely. Around 11:48 p.m., a smaller Atlanta blogger claimed he had spoken directly to someone inside the circle. And what he said sent shockwaves through the chat. According to him, the leaked audio wasn't recorded immediately after the incident like everyone assumed. It was allegedly sent days later during a private moment of reflection. That detail alone flipped the narrative on its head. If true, that means the voice wasn't reacting to pure adrenaline. It would mean the words came after sleep, after thinking, after replaying everything, and suddenly that unfinished sentence, Vaughn wasn't supposed to, started to feel heavier. And fans are shocked because that changes the emotional context entirely. Was it regret? Was it frustration? Was it confusion about how fast things escalated? The ambiguity is tearing the internet apart. Meanwhile, supporters of Quando Rondo began pushing back harder than ever. One prominent fan page posted a compilation of old interviews where Quando spoke about trauma, anxiety, and how that night affected him. The caption read, "Y'all act like people don't live with this every day." Within minutes, the comments were flooded. Some agreed, saying nobody wins in situations like that. Others accused the page of trying to spin sympathy. Then came another twist nobody expected, a supposed metadata screenshot. A tech-savvy user claimed they extracted hidden data from the audio file circulating online. According to them, the creation date showed 2022, not 2020. Now, whether that screenshot was real or manipulated, it reignited conspiracy theories. If the audio was recorded 2 years later, what triggered it? An argument? A private disagreement? Or was someone revisiting the past during a tense moment? Emotions ran high as timelines became battlegrounds. Threads comparing dates, interviews, and social media posts began popping up everywhere. One viral post lined up Quando's tour stops with the alleged metadata date, suggesting the voice note might have been recorded while he was out of town. The theory? It was a moment of isolation, a late night call between friends revisiting something that never really left them. And through all this noise, Lil Tim remained completely silent. No posts, no statements, not even a subtle like or unfollow for fans to decode. That silence began to feel intentional. Some interpreted it as legal advice. Others saw it as emotional exhaustion. But the lack of response only made the internet louder. Then something chilling happened. An alleged former associate posted a cryptic message saying, "Y'all only hearing one side of a 3-minute conversation." That line exploded across platforms. 3 minutes. So the rumors about a longer recording might actually be true. If there's more context, why hasn't it surfaced? And who's holding it? One theory gaining traction suggests that the person with the full audio is using the short clip as leverage, testing the reaction before releasing more. In today's viral ecosystem, controlled leaks are currency. Drop a fragment, watch the engagement, decide your next move. It sounds calculated, but nothing about this situation feels simple. simple. Meanwhile, supporters of King Von are doubling down on protecting his legacy. Several fan accounts began posting throwback performances, interviews, and heartfelt tributes. The message was clear: don't let speculation overshadow the impact he had. The family was left divided online, not necessarily against each other, but against the flood of narratives forming without their input. And here's where it gets even more intense. A rumored private phone call between two industry figures allegedly took place discussing whether the leak could reopen legal conversations. Now, no official confirmation exists about any legal changes, but the mere suggestion caused panic in comment sections. People began debating whether an audio clip, even if authentic, could alter anything legally years later. And the discussion shifted from emotional to technical almost overnight. At the same time, mental health advocates began weighing in. One popular therapist on social media broke down how trauma responses can include replaying events and expressing regret in fragmented sentences. She didn't mention names, but viewers connected the dots instantly. You can say it wasn't supposed to happen and still believe you reacted to protect someone, she explained. That perspective added nuance, but nuance rarely trends longer than outrage. As days passed, the leak refused to die down. Reaction videos multiplied. Some creators cried on camera, calling the situation heartbreaking. Others leaned into sensationalism, adding dramatic music behind the audio clip to heighten the suspense. The algorithm rewarded every angle, every theory, every emotional outburst. Then came a bombshell rumor late Sunday night. An anonymous tip claimed that when the clip first started circulating privately, someone from Quando's extended circle tried to get it taken down quietly before it hit mainstream blogs. If that's accurate, it suggests prior knowledge of the recording's existence. And if they knew about it, that raises another question: who originally recorded it? Because here's something people aren't talking about enough. Voice notes aren't recorded in a vacuum. Someone has to receive them. Someone has to save them. Someone has to leak them. That means there's a chain of custody, and somewhere in that chain is a decision to expose or to protect. Fans are arguing harder than ever now. Some believe the leak humanizes everyone involved, but showing that real-life chaos doesn't unfold like scripted beef. Others believe it's a dangerous attempt to soften public perception years later. Both sides are convinced they're right. The comments are ruthless. Accusations fly. People are pulling up old tweets from 2020 as if they're courtroom evidence. And still, no definitive proof, no official authentication from audio experts hired by major outlets, no confirmed denial from attorneys, just speculation layered on speculation. The uncertainty is fueling engagement in a way that feels almost uncomfortable. It's tragedy mixed with technology, mixed with modern fandom culture. Even artists outside of the situation are subtly reacting. One rapper tweeted, "Some nights never leave you. No tags, no explanation, but you already know how people connect dots." Screenshots circulated within seconds. Was it about the leak? About something else entirely? It didn't matter. The ambiguity fed the fire. The most haunting aspect remains that unfinished sentence. It's like a cliffhanger without resolution. Von wasn't supposed to what? Approach, swing, escalate, be there? The blank space is where the internet inserts its own narrative, and that's why this feels so explosive. If the full 3-minute audio ever surfaces, it could either calm the storm or intensify it beyond control. Context might clarify emotions, or reveal even more confusion, and in today's digital world, once something is out, it never truly disappears. As of now, everyone is waiting for a denial, waiting for confirmation, waiting for someone brave enough to address it head on, but until that happens, the debate continues to spiral. Fans are shocked at how one fragment of audio reopened a conversation that felt sealed in history. And the reality is this: whether real or fabricated, the leak has already reshaped perception. It's forced people to revisit old footage, old interviews, old emotions. It's reminded everyone how quickly life can change in seconds. The internet thrives on unfinished stories, and right now, this one feels far from over. By the fourth day, what started as a shaky 47-second leak had turned into a full cultural storm. Major media outlets were now cautiously referencing the situation, using phrases like alleged resurfaced audio and unverified clip, but even their careful wording couldn't slow down the momentum. The narrative had taken on a life of its own, and in 2026, once the algorithm grabs onto something emotional, it does not let go. Early that morning, a new development shook everything again. A popular hip-hop journalist claimed that someone close to Quando Rondo had been advised not to react publicly under any circumstances. That phrase alone triggered another wave of speculation. Not to react? Why? Was it because the audio was fake and engaging would validate it, or because it was real and legal teams were trying to contain the fallout? Fans are shocked at how silence has become louder than any statement. At the same time, a separate rumor began circulating that Lil Tim had changed his phone number shortly after the leak gained traction. No proof, no documentation, just a claim from someone who said they tried to reach him and couldn't. But in this environment, even the smallest unverified detail feels explosive. People interpreted it as panic, others called it basic privacy. Then came a moment that shifted the emotional tone again. A clip from an old interview with King Von resurfaced where he talked about how quickly street situations escalate. In the interview, he said, "It don't take long. One wrong move and it's up." Hearing those words in the context of this leak hit differently. Emotions ran high across social media as fans posted broken heart emojis and captions about fate and timing. The family was left divided in the comment sections, not arguing with each other, but battling outsiders who were dissecting every second of history. Meanwhile, a supposed industry mediator entered the chat. This person, who claims to have worked behind the scenes resolving rap conflicts before they spiraled, went live and made a bold statement. If that full audio drops, it won't just be emotional, it'll shift alliances. That one sentence created a new layer of paranoia. Alliances? What alliances? Were there private tensions that the public never saw? The live stream peaked at nearly 100,000 viewers before abruptly cutting out due to technical difficulties, which only made it look more dramatic. Behind the scenes, according to whispers floating through Atlanta circles, there have been conversations about whether someone intentionally sat on this recording for years waiting for the right moment. Some speculate it could be tied to upcoming projects. Others believe it may connect to unresolved personal disputes. There's even a theory that the leak was meant to test loyalty within certain camps, to see who would defend, who would distance themselves, and who would stay silent. What makes this entire situation feel surreal is how layered it has become. It's no longer just about one unfinished sentence. It's about perception. It's about legacy. It's about how digital culture can reshape memory in real time. The original event is something people thought they understood, even if they disagreed about it. But now, this fragment of audio has introduced doubt into a story that once felt settled. Late one evening, a small but respected audio forensics page posted a breakdown claiming the background noise in the clip matches the acoustic signature of a parking garage. That detail sent fans into investigative overdrive. People began comparing it to publicly available footage from that night. Some claimed similarities, others said it was a stretch, but once again, the debate intensified instead of fading. Then something truly unexpected happened. A well-known rapper who has previously stayed neutral in the entire saga tweeted, "Everybody hurting, some just louder than others." The tweet didn't mention names, but within minutes, fans connected it to the leak. The post sparked arguments about empathy versus accountability. Can both exist at the same time? Or does expressing remorse automatically imply wrongdoing? These aren't simple questions, and social media isn't known for handling complexity with patience. Through all of this, Quando's silence remains the most talked about factor. No denial, no confirmation, just controlled stillness. Insiders claim he's been in the studio non-stop, channeling emotions into music instead of statements. If that's true, it raises another question. Will the response come through lyrics instead of interviews? In rap culture, sometimes a verse says more than a press release ever could. On the other side, those defending Von's legacy have become more organized. Online spaces dedicated to preserving his memory are actively discouraging speculation, urging people not to amplify unverified content. But the internet thrives on exactly that. The unverified, the mysterious, the unfinished. The most chilling rumor yet surfaced late last night. An anonymous post claimed that the full 3-minute recording contains a direct acknowledgement that it wasn't meant to go that far. Now, again, there is zero confirmation of this. But the phrasing alone sent shockwaves. If that line exists, it could be interpreted in multiple ways. It could suggest shock. It could suggest regret. It could suggest something entirely different. And because no one has heard it, imagination fills the gap. Fans are arguing harder than ever now. Comment sections look like battlegrounds. Some are saying the leak humanizes the situation, showing that chaotic moments aren't always premeditated. Others believe it's it's an attempt to soften history. The emotional temperature refuses to cool down. Even podcasts unrelated to hip-hop are discussing it, framing it as a case study in how digital leaks reshape public memory. The conversation has grown beyond fan pages and into mainstream cultural analysis, and still the core mystery remains unresolved. Who recorded it? Who saved it? Who leaked it? And why now? There's also the psychological impact on everyone involved. Imagine reliving the worst night of your life because of a viral clip that may or may not be authentic. Imagine your name trending not because of a new project, but because of a half-finished sentence from years ago. That kind of pressure is hard to quantify. Some believe a statement is inevitable. Others think silence will continue until the storm burns itself out. But if we've learned anything over the past few days, it's that this story doesn't follow predictable patterns. Every time it seems like the conversation is slowing, a new theory or alleged detail pulls everyone back in. Fans are shocked at how deeply this has embedded itself into the culture again. Emotions ran high from the first second the clip surfaced, and they haven't stabilized since. The family was left divided in public discourse, and supporters on all sides feel protective, defensive, and emotionally invested. And perhaps the most powerful element of all is the uncertainty. In an era where everything is recorded, documented, and dissected, uncertainty feels rare. But here it is, hanging over the culture like a cloud that refuses to move. The unfinished sentence continues to echo through timelines, reaction videos, and heated debates. It's become more than audio. It's become symbolism, a reminder that some stories never truly end. They just wait for the right moment to resurface. And right now, nobody knows what the next moment will bring. So here we are, days later, and the culture is still split straight down the middle. A 47-second clip, an unfinished sentence, and a question that refuses to go away. What was really meant by Vaughn wasn't supposed to... Was it regret? Was it shock? Was it something completely taken out of context? Or are we all watching the most calculated leak hip-hop has seen in years? Fans are shocked at how fast this spiraled. Emotions ran high from the second that audio hit the timeline, and they haven't cooled off since. The family was left divided in the comment sections. Supporters on every side feel protective, defensive, and emotionally invested. And the silence from key figures, that only adds fuel to the fire. Some of you believe the clip humanizes the situation. Others think it's an attempt to rewrite history. Some are convinced there's a full 3-minute version waiting to drop that could flip everything upside down. And others are calling the entire thing AI manipulation in the most advanced digital era we've ever seen. But here's the truth. Perception is powerful, and right now, perception is battling facts in real time. So I need to hear from you. Do you think the voice note is real? Do you think there's a longer version being held back? Or do you believe this is all strategic timing meant to stir the culture? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't just scroll past this. Your opinion matters because the conversation is shaping the narrative as we speak. Make sure you like this video if you want more deep dives like this. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next, because if that full audio ever surfaces, we're breaking it down immediately. Turn on notifications, stay locked in. The story isn't over.